Blessings everyone. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about my channel name, VisitPlanVenture, and the meaning behind it. I think there are a few points here that you can consider if you're talking about relocation or considering relocation, repatriation. I think that some of these points will be helpful for you. All right, so to begin, I'm going to break up each word because they all have some different meanings. So first, let's talk about visit. All right. Visiting the country that you are planning to relocate to is very important, all right? So as you know, I've lived in Africa previously for 4 years. I was in Kenya. And when I was in Kenya, I had the privilege of traveling all over the continent. So I've been all over Africa and specifically to Rwanda, which is the country where I am at now. I visited Rwanda at least 7 to 8 times before I made the decision to move here. When I came to Rwanda the first time, I already fell in love with the country, and I wasn't even thinking about moving to Rwanda. I was settled in Kenya, no plans on moving anywhere, okay? But each time I came back to Rwanda, I saw a little bit more of the country. I saw the benefits of living here versus some other countries. And it really solidified my decision that this is a solid country I think that I should consider if I ever move back to the continent permanently. Usually when you're visiting a country, you want to give yourself some time. I would say minimum 3 to 4 weeks so that you can actually tour around, you can get to know their neighborhoods, you can involve yourself in some different activities, go to different events, restaurants, so you can see if this country vibes with you or not, right? Every country in Africa is very distinctly different. I can't say that enough, okay? So you cannot assume, for example, if you've been to Ghana, that every other country is going to be similar to Ghana. That is not going to be the case, okay? Even in East Africa, Kenya is very close to Rwanda, but these countries are very, very different. So you must give yourself enough time to get to know the country, to be able to tour around and see how you feel about it, if you like it or not, right? Now, I will say it's important to do a lot of activities. So for example, on one of my trips, I made sure I went gorilla trekking in Rwanda. So I went to other parts of Rwanda. I did not just stay in Kigali, okay? So you want to make sure that, for example, if you're considering Kenya, you want to go outside of Nairobi. Nairobi is fantastic, but you want to explore Mombasa, Diani Beach, some of these other areas where you can get a sense as to what area fits best for you and if you would like to settle in those areas or not, right? So I would definitely say visit is so important. I see a lot of YouTubers out there that have just picked up their whole lives from the US or from the UK, and they've come to Africa, never have visited the country. This is not something that I recommend at all because you're setting yourself up for a major, major cultural shock. And you might find that the particular country that you chose to settle in is not your vibe, right? You may not like certain things about it, but there may be another country in Africa that is well suited for you, but you wouldn't know that because you didn't visit any countries, right? So if I had to give a recommendation to anyone, I would say not only visit the country that you're considering, I would have a second backup country to then go visit at the same time on that trip, okay? So for example, if you're considering, let's say Gambia, and you're also considering Kenya, you want to make sure that on that trip you spend maybe 3 weeks in Gambia, then you come over to Kenya and you spend another 2-3 weeks there so you can get to understand what works for you and what doesn't. The next step, which is plan, is very, very important, okay? I have to tell you, even though I lived in the continent for 4 years and, I have a lot of experience here, when I considered coming back to the continent to move permanently, I still had to do my research, okay? Research is so critical. If you look back at my first videos, I talk about Ghana, Kenya and Rwanda. I was considering those three countries, and I was doing heavy research on all three, okay? Of course, I'm most familiar with Kenya, so that one did not require as much research, but Rwanda and Ghana, I had to really get into some of the policies that are happening in the country. For example, one of the main reasons why I chose Rwanda, well, there's several reasons, but the top reason I would say is the ability to purchase property here in a very quick and easy fashion. Also, opening up a business is very simple, fast, and easy. So there may be certain things that are important to you that you have to research and figure out if that country is able to facilitate those needs or not, okay? For example, Tanzania, you are not able to purchase property in Tanzania as a foreigner, okay? So for me, that already eliminated Tanzania, even though I love Tanzania. I think it's a beautiful country. For that one reason, Tanzania got knocked out because I would not be able to purchase property there, all right? So everyone has different needs, so you need to understand what you're looking for and do research in those countries, okay? Another example is the visa, okay? Rwanda has a very attractive visa option here, which is the 10-year visa, where you can be here. They offer a 10-year visa. You can get it in the US. And most other countries are not offering such an extended long-term visa. So this again put Rwanda at the top of my list, even above Kenya, which I'm most familiar with, because Kenya does not have a long-term visa for foreigners, okay? So you have to research and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. But research is key, all right? If I had to go back and look at how much time I spent researching, literally once the pandemic hit in March of 2020, I arrived in Rwanda March of 2021. That whole entire year I spent researching, and I kid you not. I was on the internet daily looking up different things that I thought would be important for me. And I narrowed it down to Rwanda being number one, and then Kenya being the backup option, because of course I'm most familiar with Kenya. But initially I also had Ghana as an option, and eventually I eliminated Ghana, not because I don't love Ghana. I absolutely love it. But Ghana is a little bit more expensive when it comes to certain things. And East Africa, I'm a little bit more familiar with this region just because I lived here for so long. So you have to spend time. I spent a full year doing research, even though I had already been living here for 4 years prior. So that's just to give you a flavor as to the importance of research. And then the last point is venture. All right. So now we have chosen I would say definitely choose your top 2 countries. Okay. So for example, I came to Rwanda with the hope that I could settle here. However, in the event that I could not settle, I knew that I can go to Kenya and settle there because I'm familiar with both countries. Okay. So I would recommend always have a backup country so that in the event something doesn't work out in your primary country, then you can also navigate over to your secondary choice and see if you can settle there. So venture is very important. Now, I do want to make a point here. If you look at my prior videos, you would see that I arrived here with only 3 big suitcases and 1 carry-on. And this is very important, I think, for anyone who is thinking about relocating, okay? Shipping your items from the US or from the UK is extremely expensive. And not only is it expensive, once the items actually get to Africa, you have to pay an additional expense to get it out of customs. And, you know, if you run into a customs officer who also is invested in trying to get some additional money, then you have to deal with that as well. So there are so many reasons why I chose to not ship anything here. That also goes into your research aspect, because I knew, based on my research in Rwanda and in Kenya, anything that I could possibly need, I can get in the country, okay? I did bring just a few items. If you go back to one of my previous videos, you can see what I brought with me. But truly, anything that you could possibly need, you should research to see if it's available in the particular country that you're interested in, okay? That way you can eliminate shipping couches, beds, cars, all of that. To me, is not the best use of finances, but that's just for me personally. Now, if you have it like that, then by all means, go ahead and ship. But for me, that was way out of my price range, so I did not consider that as an option at all. So I had to pare everything down into the suitcases, and once I got here, then I knew I can just go ahead and buy what I needed here. And also, I like the fact that buying things in the country supports the local economy, which is very important, at least for me. I want to support the economy here and make sure that I'm buying goods that are made in Rwanda, not goods that have been shipped into Rwanda. So those are the reasons why I chose my name, VisitPlanVenture. This is very, very important. These are steps that I think that you should consider whenever you are thinking and talking about relocation, repatriation, because people that have neglected any of these steps may be in for a rude awakening when they get to their destination. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to comment below. I'll be happy to answer them. But I hope you all have a blessed one, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.